Hello, one and all, and welcome to the channel. My name is Big Rich X, and today we're just going to be doing some instant reactions to tonight's 2024's Money in the Bank PLE or Premium Live event. Again, I can't stress this enough. These are just my opinions. I'm not trying to state them as fact. Um, I haven't talked about wrestling much on this channel, but I'm trying to incorporate two things that I love very, very much, which is making YouTube videos, also streaming, and then professional wrestling. Excuse me. So just capturing instant reactions for tonight's PLE, and is kind of the main feeling I am feeling after every escapade. We're gonna go through each match. Please feel free to leave comments. I love discussion. Be happy to chat with you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video and all that crap. Anyways, we opened up with the men's Money in the Bank match with LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Chad Gable, Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, and main event Jey Uso. Now, a lot of people wanted Jey Uso to win. I myself wanted LA Knight to win, but that wasn't the case. That is not what Triple H is cooking up. Spoiler, it was Drew McIntyre. And everyone on the planet Earth could have predicted that. The second he won, it was going to be a cash-in later that evening. We'll get to that later, though. Overall, a very fun match. Andrade stole the show, I think, with his spots and his movesets. Carmelo did a great job with the ladders as well. The springboard off the second rope between both of them was a solid spot. Chad Gable had some nice moments, and I think he should wear some tights underneath his singlet so we don't get rear-ended again. The Yeah versus Yeet was a good storyline throughout. But yeah, McIntyre was coming out of this one. I really wish it was LA Knight, but I know he's being set up for a U.S. title opportunity against Logan Paul in SummerSlam, or for SummerSlam, where he has got to take the title off of him because Logan Paul is just an obnoxious fucking troll. I respect his in-ring ability, but I hate him as a human being. Chad Gable's got so much other stuff going on. He's still a great heel. I think he could have done great with the briefcase, but it's not his time. He's still chasing after that IC title, I think, but he definitely deserves a title run eventually before he retires. He deserves something other than the tag titles. As for Jey Uso, I don't know where he goes from here. Jey is I can't call him main event Jey Uso anymore just because he hasn't really been in too many main events recently. I think moving forward, he probably should go to NXT and be the one to take down Obafemi, because then it gives him some legitimacy at a singles title, and he could go on for a decent run and help the development peeps down there. And then Obafemi can go to the main roster and have a great match with Gunther for the World Heavyweight title eventually, but that's a long story. Andrade and Carmelo, again, they're fairly new to the main roster. Andrade is coming back to the main roster and is still trying to find his place. I think he could be good in the U.S. title scene once LA Knight takes it. Carmelo is still, fresh on the roster, so they need time to let his heel work develop a bit, I think. But overall, I'd give this match probably like a 7.2 out of 10. It was a fun match, great spots, not the best ending, and I think the latter effects of, or the later parts of this matchup of this PLE really affected this overall. But again, we'll get to that. Our next match on the docket. One moment. If I remember correctly, was Sammy versus Bron. Honestly, a great match. I really wanted Braun to win, but again, I think they're saving that for a bigger stage like SummerSlam, probably like a triple threat, maybe with Sheamus involved. And I think if Sheamus gets involved, I think he's going to take it so he can get his last title, and then Braun might take it. But um, Braun is being portrayed as this dominant, just force of nature, and they need to treat him as such. So when he loses, he's got to be protected. I think it should have taken a bit more than just one Halula kick. But Sami Zayn is that he's got that underdog mentality. I think the ending was a bit, just weird. They were, stunned and in the corner, and then they dodged each other's moves, and then Sammy's up, up again. But overall, fun match. I'd put this probably at like a 7.5, 7.7 out of 10. But again, I'm a bit biased towards Braun Breaker. I like his style, I like his energy. He gets good crowd reactions too. Has already gotten a couple of awesome clips with his ring work around the ring, similar to Braun Strowman. They just can't overdo it. That's the problem. Is like something goes viral, then I feel like they try to replicate it so much. But they got to save it for special moments. This is a PLE, so it makes sense. But Braun can't be doing this on a weekly basis. I don't think. Save the speed up spear for big moments. After that, I believe we had our World Heavyweight Championship match between Damian Priest of the Judgment Day and Seth frickin' Rollins. And this is what every pundit and news or wrestling news org place is going to talk about is, of course, the ending. I thought they put on a solid match to begin with. Seth looked really good coming back from injury. Damian, I think, is doing great. I heard chants of I don't know what they were saying beforehand, but they're chanting Undertaker, so people are obviously correlating the two. But yeah, as fun and as good as the match was, the botched timing, whether it was because Damian was dazed and or concussed, whether it was production mistiming the music, whether McIntyre was in the right spot at the time or the ref, whoever, it was a bad look, and it really derailed the momentum of this PLE, I think. And I'm sure Triple H and company will be able to spin this in a way to get everything resolved in a somewhat happy manner. But in the heat of the moment, in the instant reaction video, it was bad. It looked bad, and unfortunately, just nah. I was hoping for AJ Lee, and I know a lot of people were, but sadly, no, nothing. Or at least with the ladder match would have been cool. It would have been a huge pop, but I know AJ Lee has stepped away from professional wrestling and is unlikely to return anytime soon. CM Punk obviously got involved, cost Drew yet again. Drew cashing in instantly, like I said, kind of wasted the men's Money in the Bank match, and that briefcase could have gone to any number of those superstars, LA Knight and Jey Uso especially, just because everyone knows who McIntyre is going to cash in on. With Jey and LA Knight, it leaves a sense of mystery, at least some air of mystery of when they're going to cash in is like any given moment. But everyone and their mother knew that McIntyre was going to cash in that night, and everyone knew Punk or somebody was going to get involved to cost him. So yeah, I know Damian Priest had the long run, and now we have the short run, yada, 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 but still did not go the way I liked it. This match, mainly due to the crazy finish, is a 5 out of 10. Phenomenal in-ring work otherwise from the two gentlemen involved. CM Punk is, the biggest hater out there towards Drew McIntyre. But yeah, it was a messy finish, and I'm hoping they explain it or go into it on Raw, because now Seth has a reason to get back into the title scene because he got the 3 count. So I imagine that's how they're going to spin it. But still, it was rough to say the least. But we had a saving grace. This was definitely match of the night for me. I don't know about y'all, but it definitely takes the cake. The women's Money in the Bank match had great spots, brought in tables. Zoe Stark and Io Sky probably had the move of the match and possibly of the night. I don't know exactly what the move is called, but the sell afterwards, after the ladder hit, where Zoe kind of goes pencil dive and Io's kind of just like folded in half as like some anime pose. It looks sick as hell. Chelsea, just round of applause for Chelsea Green. She got some cool spots and took a massive bump to the outside onto two tables and was executed perfectly. Often with those two table spots, it's just one gets hit or none of them get hit. Something goes wrong usually, but Chelsea and Tiffany hit it perfectly. Chelsea hit both tables square, looked perfect, looked like she didn't get hurt too much, and it was a good landing. And of course Tiffany Stratton won. That was a lot of people's picks. I wanted Chelsea to win, but it's Tiffy time, as they say. But again, a great job all around. I think Naomi could have used a bit more spotlight. But she definitely had some good spots. Lyra Valkyrie did great. It was the match of the night for a reason, and definitely stole the show, I think. And oftentimes has been the case in recent years, which is just saying something about the growth of the women's division in WWE, and maybe something that's lacking on the men's Money in the Bank side. Either way, match of the night. Huge congratulations to Tiffany, as well as a huge shout out to Zoe Stark, Chelsea Green, and Io Sky for some of the bumps they took. Just awesome stuff. And then our main event. Our main event of the evening is a 6-man tag. Not ideal, honestly, in my opinion, because we know Drew already cashed in, so Cody doesn't have to worry about that, even though it seems like it would have been the perfect time to cash in, with Cody being demolished and it all going to chaos as bloodline matches tend to go, with a ref bump and some crazy shenanigans. Tongaloa, I believe his name is, took a nasty bump after Cody suicide dived through the ropes, and he bumped his head hard on the announcer desk. So I hope he's okay. I believe it's Tongaloa. Yeah, Tongaloa took a nasty hit to the back of the head and seemed a bit dazed, and then took an RKO after that. So I hope he's okay. That was just a poor fall, poor timing, or what have you, and hit his head hard. Kevin Owens, I think, carried the match with his aggressiveness and being the hometown hero. People were loving him. My favorite move or moment of his was he was in the corner and he was getting bodied, but he just kept swinging like a wild animal. It looked awesome. No Jimmy, no Roman, no new member, no nothing, no John Cena. Surprisingly enough, even though he was in ring gear, a really weird ending to have Solo pin Cody while Cody's champion. One of my buddies was saying on Twitter is like, it's to show dominance and to put doubt into Cody's reign. And I was like, well, yeah, I guess, but it doesn't really show dominance in a tag match where you're getting help from, 3 of your buddies and the ref is down and there's all sorts of shenanigans going on. For once, I would love to see a bloodline match, one-on-one, not end in any shenanigans, and just have Solo win. No shenanigans, no outside help. Just let Solo be Solo and do dominant work. The main reason why Roman looks so dominant, at least in early on, is because he was winning his matches solo. Yeah, it was a bit, rough and tumble, but he looked like a dominant dude. Came in to destroy the Fiend, wreck everyone and leave kind of vibe. Like a dominant champion, or a force to be reckoned with. When you have all this outside help and the ref bumps and all this other, malarkey, for lack of a better term, it just it's the same old, and it's kind of the tired trait of bloodline matches and PLEs. Oh, ref got hit. They're softer than a freaking softer than mashed potatoes and take ages to get up, and they only get up at the right opportunity. Like it's an overused method for their matches. That's all I'm saying. You can find other ways to have weird interference or what have you, but it's really overdone. And I don't know if I gave ratings for everything. I gave it for the world. I forgot to give it for the women's match. The women's Money in the Bank match is like a 9 out of 10, if not like an 8.5, just as like some missed spots or missed like hits. Like someone would go over the rope or just barely miss, and it's still a match of the night in my opinion. I gave Bron. Anyways, I give it like a 6 out of 10. It's still a good match. Kevin Owens looked good. They made Jacob Fatu look like an animal as per usual. He again is outshining Solo Sikoa in the dominance factor, if that's what we're really looking at. And overall, I give this show like a 6.8, 7 out of 10. Definitely one of the weaker PLEs of the Triple H or Paul Levesque era. But I'm gonna trust him because he hasn't really let us down yet. From a longtime fan's perspective, Triple H has provided really good storylines, and sometimes it takes a while for them to pay off. But whatever happened with Seth versus Damian, and however we move forward with Cody, I'm gonna lean towards positivity and hope for better PLEs in the future, or some form of closure continuance to explain everything that happened tonight with the World Heavyweight Championship scene as well as the WWE Championship scene. My only other complaint is there is no women's title defense on this one, which is why I think they should extend the PLEs to 6 or 7 matches instead of just 5, because no Liv Morgan and no Bayley. Your women's main championships are being left off the docket, so hopefully for SummerSlam, one, if not both of them are. That's my only other complaint for this PLE. So there's no singles women's match to, maybe have the women cash in instantaneously instead of the men doing it. I don't know. Either way, a solid 6.8, 7 out of 10 overall for the PLE. Stinker of the night has to go to Seth versus Damian just for the wacky finish. Match of the night, again, goes to the women's Money in the Bank. I cannot stress to y'all that these are just my opinions. I'd be happy to discuss said opinions in the comments. If you like the video and you want to see more of it, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will see y'all next time, hopefully for SummerSlam, where we have a whole lot of good matches. And my boy, LA Knight, taking home the U.S. title. That's the main thing I want to see. Catch you next time, everybody. So long. Bye-bye. Subscribe. All that good stuff.